And we're back! Matt here, you guys know who I am, Syxxes Performance. What are we doing today? This is actually somewhat of a fan requested video. We're doing some work to that machine there, and it involves this. Yes, we have a TKI kit all ready to go in to Ben's Hardcore. So the question is, why ever upgrade to a belt drive kit? Well, a couple of reasons. If you have a belt drive kit, this doesn't happen.
3 teeth missing on top gear? Yeah, just have at her.
If you blow a chain on the mountain, in most cases, you're screwed. But if you blow a belt on the mountain, you can change that belt out just like you could on your main drive belt. You don't pound a hole in your chain case. Usually that's what happens. If you're lucky, just the tensioner will go and the chain will go and maybe a cog. That's pretty lucky if you can manage to get away with just that. But instead of that heavy chain, we're going to be installing this little drive belt. This thing is significantly lighter than a chain. So another reason why people install a drive belt, why Polaris actually puts them on a bunch of their factory machines, is with this belt you actually get a little more power. You have less rotating mass. So there is actually a little bit of power to be had with less rotating mass. This is way lighter than a chain. But however, this is also pretty thin compared to a chain. Like, there isn't much to this belt. I got a main drive belt here, hold on. So this is the thickness and the kind of the standard width, generic width of a main drive belt, the one that goes on your clutches. This is a CVT belt. And here is the one we're replacing that chain with. So quite a big difference. These belts are pretty tough though, as long as you break them in properly. You can get a lot of life out of them, but you got to break them in. We're going to hop right into it. We're actually going to start with a little bit of unboxing. So we'll see exactly what's in this kit, and then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to install it on the Hardcore right away here. So what comes in the kit? Obviously, we have our main drive belt, the belt that we will be using to replace the chain. This is the new guard. It comes with a speed sensor and everything. Pretty fancy. Instructions, of course. These are a kit from something else. That's your new oil tank, because we're actually deleting the factory oil tank. We have additional bearings, seals, what looks like it's going to be a tensioner of some kind, additional bracing, an oil fitting there it looks like. Here we go, this is your upper drive cog right there. New oil pump housing. Now this is something that did not need to be done on the Suzukis, because the oil pump on the C-Tech engines is an electric oil pump. So we will have to be relocating the factory oil pump to this bad boy right here, which actually makes this kit a little bit more extensive to install. I'm not sure what that is. Looks like a tool of some kind, or maybe a tensioner part. And last but certainly not least is the lower drive cog. Stickers. Can't have a good kit without stickers. I'm gonna get right into it here. We're gonna take off side panel exhaust. We're gonna move the skid plate a little bit. We're gonna take out the brace that the footwell sits in, and we are going to just open up that chain case and get right to installing this kit.
Everybody's gonna be good and mad at me for using impact.
Things are about to get exciting here. So this is the inside of your chain case on a 2017 up M series. So we're going to continue the disassembly, and we're going to give it a good clean, because there will not be oil going back in this when we are done. So you guys know here, they say right here, just heat it, and then that bearing there that we were just taking out said heat it and then pry it out with screwdriver. And I was like, nah, I don't like that. All I did here, it's freaking dark over here. All I did was take off the clutch here on this side and then take out these screws. Sorry for the darkness. And just popped it out, gave it a little push. That's easier than fighting with it with screwdrivers, I think. Life is looking pretty good. We have everything disassembled here, and we are actually, now we got the oil pump out, the case off. We're actually ready to start throwing in new stuff now. Wow, that part with the insert is a lot harder than they make it out to be.
Oh man, mustard got me.
You may either cut the bolt that you use for install or source a bolt yourself. Just throw in the bolt I need for an extra $2. What is that?
Cool. Don't even need to put a thread chaser on it. That's how good I am.
All right, things are going really well here. The couple, you know, it's actually a little harder than the instructions make it out to be. We have the top gear and bearing all installed. We have the bottom gear. It is not installed yet, but we have the bottom bearing packed with grease, and we are ready to go there. The oil pump is still out, so we have to do a few more things here, but I think the hard part's over. We still have to do oil pump bleeding. We have to install the reservoir. We have to install the belt tensioner. So let's get to it. Hey, all right, this is looking really nice. We're gonna make Ben super happy. So this is mostly installed. We actually just have about the last thing we gotta do is we gotta do the oil pump stuff. We'll need to bleed it, we'll need to prime it, and then we'll pretty much be good to go. So we have our belt deflection set. It's actually super tight. It's only calling for a 1/4 inch, and we're gonna have to play with it a little bit. Once the exhaust warms up the belt a little bit, they could see a little bit of stretching there. So it's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on for the first little bit. Tensioner is installed. Everything's tight. Everything is looking pretty good here so far. Alright, you guys, that wraps up the belt drive on the Hardcore. Let's go in there, let's take a look. So it's looking pretty good. You know what? Actually, even a little bit more difficult to install than I thought it was going to be. I actually thought it was going to be a little easier than that. I would actually rate it like a 6 or a 7 on the difficulty scale, because even in the instructions, there's even a little bit of guesswork as to what you're doing. We still have to work on the belt deflection a little bit. We're gonna have to take it, run it up, and we'll be testing that throughout the day because we'll be out this weekend riding, you betcha. So there's still just a little bit more fine tuning that will be done this weekend in the terms of belt deflection and just testing. And Ben, our lucky boy, he gets to test it out and see if it's any good or not. I would say that the most important thing about doing that kit is getting the oil routing right and just getting the oiling system installed the right way. I would say that is the most important thing about doing that kit for sure. If you have any questions about it, I'm sure Ben will have a few things to say about it after he gets to take it out this weekend. We will be doing a weekend in Revelstoke coming up. Thanks everybody for watching. If you happen to enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so you know when the new videos are coming. And we'll see everybody in the next one. Merch store, Patreon, all those links down below. All our sponsors, all the gear, our helmets, everything. That's all down below. See you in the next one.